My name is Luxeria. I'm a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, and I am transgender. I've been in medical transition for 9 years now, and for just as long as I've been in medical transition, I have wanted facial feminization surgery. In December 2021, I began my journey to make my shell more harmonious with my soul. And this is that journey. Good morning, everyone. So, I just had to film this right now because I am so excited. It is the 22nd of December, 2021, and I have just paid my deposit with Facialteam for my facial feminization surgery. It's gonna be in May, and it's just like, this is before I've moved, this is before, like, everything has happened this year. I never thought over the last, like, five years or so, I never thought that I would be able to finally get round to having facial feminization surgery. And through the help of my audience and through stringent savings, I have been able to do so. It's just a lot. It's like a really big moment for me. And I finally feel like a huge part in my transition is like achieved, like a goal in my transition is achieved, and it's taken years to get me to this position. And I'm counting my blessings a little bit because I didn't think this was going to be possible for a long time. Oh, getting a bit emotional. Can you believe it? Oh, no. I'm a little bit emotional today. I have wanted this surgery for so long. And I don't know why I feel this way. I feel a little bit overwhelmed. I'm also moving. I'm moving house. I've met someone, and it feels like everything is just kind of happening all at once. I'm literally moving house in 3 days, and I have a lot to do still, and I have a lot of memories in this house to, like, say goodbye to. I don't really know why I'm feeling like this. I just feel something. I feel like I'm finally moving forwards past a point of, like, no return. And I've needed to do this for such a long amount of time that it's actually a little bit overwhelming. Which sounds ridiculous to say because this is something I've wanted for so long. But I think it's just come to my attention, basically, this second, that May of 2022 is going to be a big month for me. I'm not going to look like this anymore. I'm going to look much more how I feel comfortable looking. I know I've got a long emotional journey as well. I miss people that should be here with me to help me through this. Who also understand what it's like to go through this. I don't even know why I'm crying. Why am I crying? They'd be so proud. They would be so proud of me. And I'm going to hate watching this back. Messy bitch, look at the state of you. My life has completely changed in the last 2 years. I've been able to do things that I never thought I would be able to do. I've been able to afford things that I would never thought that as a trans person I would ever be able to achieve or afford. And it's going to unlock a new future for me in which I've spent so long wanting. And I just want my recovery to be stable, safe, and healthy. And I want to come out of the other side feeling stable, safe, and healthy. I think that's all I can say today. It's been a few days since I last checked in when I was having that breakdown. Right now, I am out of breath because it is also my moving day, and I have been in quite a stress. Let me just tell you that. I think you can see in the last clip, actually, because I was so overwhelmed, like bursting into tears. And I am happy to report I'm a lot more stable now. I think the stress of moving and undergoing surgery and also having tattoos done at the same time, it's kind of a little bit of a lot, and I would recommend probably only doing one of these 3 things at once. I mean, I, for some reason, have always liked to push my mental fortitude right to the edge of what I can get away with, and I think I'm doing all right now. I'm really looking forward to my surgery. My surgery is in 10 days. 10 days! I cannot wait to feel at home in my own skin, or at least more at home in my own skin, and say goodbye to this apartment that was my home for 2 years during the British lockdowns. So a lot of memories are leaving. I'm leaving behind. They're going into the bank up here. Also, don't I look glamorous for moving? Oh! So, we actually got to Marbella. I've brought Rolly with me for moral support and just friendship support because he is my best friend. We actually got here through quite like an extravagant adventure. So we ended up staying in a hotel the night before we had to fly out at the Gatwick North Terminal in London. We got there, and then later in that evening, there was a thunderstorm, and I was like, oh no, is this a red flag going to happen? Is this like something's happening that's telling me I shouldn't do this? And it was so strange to just watch a thunderstorm late at night in May in the UK, because I was like, oh my god, if we have to leave and get like a train or anything in the morning and something happens, like I absolutely do not want to miss my flight. That would be the worst experience of my life. Time to bleed. Evening. I actually first felt trans when I was a child. I knew that I was a bit different from everyone else. I feel like this is very cliche to say, but it's like, I knew I was different at a young age. I remember asking my mum when I was about 8 why I was expected to like do boy things, why I was expected to like get dirty and like go outside and climb up trees and all the typical boyish things you can imagine. And I never did any of that as a child. I was a very indoorsy child. I was always very creative, indoorsy. I spent a lot of time with my mum. I didn't really have a lot of friends growing up. I was very much by myself, fully in my imagination. And it wasn't until I was 12 that I first came out to my parents, and I said to them both that
I really want to be a girl. At this point, I'd spent years growing my hair, so my hair was probably about this long, blonde, not as blonde as it is now, but it was really important to me to have a very feminine appearance, and I didn't really understand why. I always liked long nails, I always liked the elegance of like long hair, long limbs, long art, like just length was like very feminine to me growing up. And at 12, I finally said to my parents, like, oh, I want to be a girl. That's what I want for my life. And at the time, the language didn't really exist and the climate didn't really exist that it is now, that people would be able to understand what that sentence actually means. Both of my parents were kind of just like, well, that can't happen because that's not a thing. Like, they just didn't know. They just didn't know that that was a thing that is a part of a journey that can actually happen at that time. So with Facialteam, I'm having 5 procedures. Kind of funny because one of them is a brow lift, and there is a joke on my channel that like, we're getting a brow lift, girls, and we actually are getting a brow lift, it would seem. So my 5 procedures are a forehead reconstruction. I'm also getting a brow lift, I'm getting a rhinoplasty, and I'm also getting a chinplasty and a tracheal shave. All of these procedures are done in one surgery session. Now, the reason why I'm getting these specific procedures is because it's very important for me to be symmetric, have things kind of like shrank a little bit and pulled up and back. I really like that snatched look. That's very feminine to me. It's like hyper femme fatale femininity. I transform my face with cosmetics into the face that makes me feel happiest in my soul, in my heart. And I feel like the reason why I've gone with Facialteam is because they can marry that with my idea of what I want so closely that it's going to alleviate my dysphoria. And that is why I'm undergoing this journey. I've had 3 friends go to Facialteam for their facial feminization surgery. All 3 have had excellent results, glowing experiences with the whole team. I actually did consult with another surgery center for facial feminization, and I did this in 2016, and it was quite possibly the worst I have ever felt during a consultation. And as soon as I met the team of doctors, I was like, this is wrong, this is not for me, this is actually a huge roadblock in my transition and my life journey. They made me feel so uncomfortable and so unlistened to. They didn't give me any advice about the actual procedures that I really wanted to have done and that I needed to have done. They wanted to change absolutely everything about my face, and that is not why I'm here. I'm not here to become a different person. I'm here to marry the person I have in my mind to what is reality. And I feel like that's a very important thing to recognize as well in this journey. I'm not here to escape my body. I'm here to reconstruct my body in a way that I need it to in order to feel inner peace. And after I'd left that consultation, I actually had a bit of a breakdown, and I actually thought that this surgery and this procedure would not be available for me in my journey because I had such a bad experience with that surgical team. It wasn't until a year later that I then consulted with Facialteam, and I was made to feel at home. There was a strong community, strong sense of community. There was other people that were willing to share their story in such a positive way. And it just kind of really solidified in my mind that these are the team that I want to work on me. These doctors are the ones I want to go with. It was perfect, absolutely perfect. I came out of that consultation thinking, yes, absolutely. When I have the funds available, I'm going to do this. And I consulted again in 2021 to just make sure that I was getting the best outcome for me, and I was getting completely listened to about things. My idea of beauty had slightly shifted. All of the core aspects are the same, but it slightly shifted by 2021. And I put myself on a fitness journey to get my body in the most healthiest place for right here for 2 days' time with Facialteam. Every single person I have spoken to at Facialteam has left me feeling positive, stronger, and emotionally ready to undertake this journey. It's quite beautiful, actually. Not gonna lie, it's been a journey to get here. There is a couple of people that should be here with me, and they aren't. When I started my transition, I didn't really know where my life was going to go. I hadn't even thought about doing my degree at that point. I just knew that this was one of the major life pathways that I was going to take. And I had absolutely no idea in the start of the 2010s how difficult that decade would be for me and how many people I would lose along the way. I would really like to have both my mother and Sinestra here to see how far I've come, even in just these last few years, both academically, professionally, and personally. I feel like my journey could have really benefited from them being here, and I do feel a certain sense of emotion. I can't exactly explain exactly what it is. It's like a mixture of loss, frustration, and almost like I've had something stolen from me. I feel a bit like I've had future memories stolen from me because they both aren't here, and I feel like they both would be very proud of my journey and of the person that I've become because I've worked so hard for it, and I feel like I deserve it. I just wish they were here with me. I am documenting this journey because I feel like it is important to myself to understand my own feelings, worries, anxiety, nerves, excitement, a sense of relief, and gender euphoria, actually. I feel like it's very important for me to understand, but it's also very important to share that this is actually a thing that can happen. This kind of content is exactly what I needed when I was 12 and I came out and everyone was like, that can't happen, it's not a thing that happens, it's not a thing that happens. When actually it is a thing that happens. It's very real, and my life is very real. And I feel like I owe it to a little younger me who needed to see it and didn't have the opportunity to.
It is the night before my surgery. I'm just sitting in my room, assessing kind of how I feel about my consultations that I've had over the last few days with several different doctors that are working on me tomorrow, all part of the Facialteam family. And I feel so good right now. I have such a good level of anticipation that's all positive. I don't have any negative nerves. I don't have any bad anxiety about it, nothing. I have no concerns. When I first went for my consultation on Friday, which is 4 days ago now, there was a moment in which I hadn't actually considered about one of the procedures I'm having. So, of course, I'm having a chinplasty, and I hadn't considered that in a chinplasty, you are moving bone. And I know that sounds really dumb to say, but I hadn't realised that, to move bone, to change the shape of a chin, you have to move bone. And by moving bone, you are moving bone. So my chin here is going to be cut from here and positioned forward and titanium screwed in place. And there's going to be a slight step that I can feel, but I cannot see. And I hadn't really thought about that. I hadn't come to terms with the fact that I was going to have a different feeling chin. And I don't know why I hadn't. That wasn't something that happened in my mind. I just didn't consider that is actually happening. And it sounds ridiculous now to actually think about it because that was so obvious. It feels like something that should have, I should have just known. I should have been like, of course I'm going to have a slightly different chin. I'm changing the shape of my chin. Absolutely. It kind of like played on my mind a little bit over the weekend. And I had another consultation today, and immediately my queries were put to rest, absolutely put to rest. So I have no concerns now, and I feel very good, and I'm a little bit emotional by how good I feel. I honestly thought that right now I would be feeling a lot. I'd be feeling a lot of conflicting emotions, but I don't. I'm overjoyed, actually. I'm overwhelmed with joy and positivity. And for the first time in my life, I feel very lucky to be me. Things like that don't usually happen to people like me. It's important to remember where you've come from and the journey you've been on in order to understand like how thankful you are for right now. And I'm thankful to everyone who's helped me get to this point, because without them, I really wouldn't be here. And I had a bit of a moment earlier where I was just like, I'm here. Like, I'm at this point in life where I'm very happy and very thankful. And it's kind of a lot, because it's something I'm not prepared. I wasn't prepared to feel like this. I was prepared to feel something else. And I don't feel that something else. I feel this. And that's so different to what I expected. But the next time you see me, I will have had facial feminization surgery. And I know I'm going to look like a swollen red onion for weeks. But I'm going to look like the fiercest red onion you've ever seen. It's so dumb. I will see you on the other side. So I still can't really speak properly, but I'm just having breakfast. I've got some toast. I've got this juice. I don't know what this juice was, but it was delicious. I've got a various selection of fruit, and you know how much I love fruit. And I am a horrendous British person because I do not drink tea. I'm not sure what this is though. Is this like floral tea? Oh, she's dead. Floral tea? I'm not sure what that is. I probably won't be having tea, but yes, time to eat some breakfast. So now I have to wear this delightful bandage around my face. They've taken off my like head bandages, and my forehead looks gigantic because it's so swollen. I'm currently just on some painkillers. I think it's a mixture of paracetamol and something else. Gosh, my nose is really dry. I can sort of breathe through it, which is great, because last night I could not at all because of the packing, and I had to breathe through my mouth, so I was like the whole night. So I didn't really get much sleep. I do feel so much better today though. Today technically is day 2, but like on day 1, I was out of it, absolutely out of it. I suppose it wasn't even day 1, was it? It was the day of surgery. So this is technically day 1 of healing. So I think that's how I'm going to categorize it going forwards. This is day 1 of healing. This is the most speaking I've done. And it's like 1.5 minutes. Pain out of 10 is about 3 or 4. It's not really painful, it's just awkward, like everything is being pressed. As you can see, like everything's got to be like pressed to my new face. My scars on the inside of my mouth are a little bit tender.
You can tell my bottom lip is gigantic. Like I've had 8 mil of Juvederm. But if I show you from the side, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna cry and then all my badges will get soaked. That's not good, is it? You can already basically see my eyelids. You could never see my eyelids before. I can't wait to get my brows like done all nice. Wow, what an experience. I feel very privileged to be able to do this.
So I'm here, Callum, and look at Luxeria's, like, her head is like, there's literally no bump at all, except for the slight swelling on the forehead section. Like, there's like almost no brow bone.
Yeah, I do feel like my head is really big though. My forehead is like gigantic.
It's just because it's swollen. That will go down. But your whole profile now is completely different. Like, unclockable.
Day 2 post-facial feminization surgery. My lips are sore as fuck because I could still only breathe through them. But I think you can see a lot less swelling up here today. Just a little bit, you can start to see more definition around here. Still can't breathe through my nose. That's about as much as I can breathe. My cheeks feel less big as well, which is nice. Apparently on the menu today is a massage and a hair wash. So yeah, I'm in really good spirits today. I woke up so much better than last night. Last night I was like, I'm the loneliest person in the world. And today I'm like, what was that all about? Absolutely fine now. Oh, a dry lip though, look. Ugh, grim. Profile, yeah, still got a long way of healing to go. But it's day 2. Day 2 of many. Better than day 1. So here we go.
So I have just been allowed to take off my, what's it called? My like hospital gown and go back into my own clothing. Oh my God, I feel so much better in black. Instantly feel like I'm back to being me. Like, considering what I've had done, I'm actually doing all right. Oh, that profile, let me, what is this magic? Can I zoom in? I'm sorry, this is magic. Like, witchcraft in the 1600s, burnt at the stake, bitches. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. It's still day 2. I'm just waiting for a little bit of lunch now before I have to put my my headband back on. They've washed my hair. I think I'm going to lose a little bit of my hair just to the shock of like surgery. It happened before and I'm fully expecting it, so not really the end of the world. I haven't got much bruising, if you've noticed. So this is day 2. I don't really have any bruising. I've still got like puffiness under the eyes, but like apparently it sinks down the face and then I'll be fine. So, you know, there we go, girls. I've got goiter. I don't actually have goiter. That's not true. Can't wait to eat. I get discharged a little bit, but before that I have a CT scan just to make sure that everything is in the right place. And then I get to go back and see Roly and hang out and have ice cream. Can't wait for ice cream.
Hello, Luxeria.
Cheers.
She's doing her drugs with a champagne flute.
Because we don't have any straws and they're all too big. Don't, I'm gonna die of laughter. Champagne.
Champagne, cheers.
For everyone.
Beef stroganoff.
Oh, delicious.
Today is day 4.
I have made it through to the fabled day 3. Day 3 yesterday was actually really difficult. I was really swollen. It was the worst day for swelling so far, and my mental health was quite wobbly. I had a little moment of like, I miss my mum, and it was really quite difficult to cope with all day. So we just stayed indoors watching Stranger Things, the new season,
Drag Race.
and Drag Race, Stranger Things, and the new Drag Race season. Not Drag Race, the new Stranger Things season. So that was good. We're just taking my first adventure to the shop now to try and get more like supplies and ice cream and stuff. And I think I'm doing all right today. I have this strange pain on the right hand side of my face. It's a little bit like a sort of shocking feeling every now and then, like a little like zing, which I would kind of expect, because what I think it is it's the nerves and the muscle fibers trying to reattach to my bone. And I feel like that makes more sense when you explain it like that. So while it is shocking and spicy when it happens, it does fill me with joy that I know why it's happening. It's not just random pains. But otherwise, I'm doing okay today. Day 4 of healing from facial feminization surgery. It is now day 6 of healing from my facial feminization surgery, and I'm actually doing some work. And it is the first day that I can have Pepsi Max, so I'm very, very excited for that. Also, the cans are so much more elegant in Spain than in the UK. Ah, delicious. So I'm currently editing my video for not this Monday, which is today. It'll be next Monday. Also, in other news, I was stung by a bloody wasp on the top of my shoulder yesterday. I was being good and putting my little like tub of ice cream, because my doctor said you get to eat ice cream a day because of all the like swelling down here to help cool my mouth down. Now I went to put it in the recycling bin like a good person, and a wasp flew out and stung me on the shoulder like really quickly. Didn't have enough time to react, and I was like, I've just been stung by a wasp. So I had to like contact the Facialteam emergency number and was like, oh, I've just been stung by a wasp. Is it going to affect my healing? Am I okay? And it was absolutely fine, but I was just like, it was so annoying. So it's like, how dare you? I haven't been stung by something for like 20 years. So stupid. Anyway, in terms of healing, I am much better today. I feel my personality is nearly back at 100. I've got a lot of like swelling down here today, so I feel very like chipmunk. I have to wear my head wrap 24 hours a day, as long as possible, except when eating. So it's been a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's like, it's fine when you have it on for a few hours, but then it does start to get annoying and hot, so it is something to consider. Last night I did actually roll onto this side of my face during my sleep, and I was like, what am I doing? And I woke up and I was like panicked, but it should be absolutely fine. Tomorrow, is it tomorrow? No, the day after tomorrow, I get my cast from my nose taken off, and I get my stitches from my neck and the back of my head taken off. And I cannot wait, I can't tell you, like this feels so like grubby now, this bandage. Having a bandage on your skin for like 7 days is not like, it's just not the moment. It doesn't feel very fashionable at all. Yesterday we managed to wash my incision at the back of my head using the Betadine shampoo, which is, would you pass me it? Is it there?
I don't know where it is.
Oh, I don't know where it is right now. It should be here. Oh, there it is. Which is this stuff right here. Rolly is with me, by the way. We're in the studio. No, backstage tea.
Yeah, backstage tea. Watch me illegally download music.
Naughty. So this is Betadine shampoo. It's made of iodine. Well, it's not made of iodine, it's got iodine in it, and it really stains blonde hair. And my post-op nurse was like, don't get it in your blonde hair because it will go brown. And I was like, no, not this. But you can kind of see, like, it's impossible to kind of like completely keep it from getting a little bit stained, so it's not quite as white as it would usually be. It's fine. When I get my roots bleached in like weeks time, I think it will help me like get back to like a blonde colour that I'm really happy with, which is in fact not blonde at all, it's just like platinum. But we managed to wash my incision. We used a Q-tip just to like apply it, and I let it sit for a few minutes, and then I just washed my hair, and I felt so much better after like having a full body like good shower. It's surprising how much like fresh clothes and a full body shower can make you feel like instantly so much better. It was exhausting, but I was so much better. And this is the most I have spoken since my first surgery, I think, on camera, because now I feel a bit more me. Can you see where my eyebrows are now? Definitely brow lift, but I've still got lots of swelling, as you can see. This is not a painful surgery at all. It's more of just like discomfort.
And I cannot wait till I get my normal smile back either, because currently when I smile, I just like fully show all my top teeth and my bottom lip just like moves up. So I'm like, like this. And it looks so ridiculous. Cannot wait to not have that anymore. But yeah, I think my next check-in will be when I get my stitches removed, because now it's just literally swelling, healing. That's all it is. So I'm going to get back to editing on my little razor here. Oh, beep, beep. I've got goiter. I don't. So I have just arrived at Facialteam. It is day 8 and I'm going to have all of my stitches taken out of the back of my head and my nose cast off. So this is the first day that I'm going to be able to really see what I look like. So it's quite exciting. Rolly is also here.
Oh, and I'm also here.
Wow. Is?
Are you smiling like mad?
Why aren't you making it to the pageant?
Oh my god.
It looks so good,
It's,
Luxeria.
very beautiful. Wow.
Oh my god.
Yes. It's a very beautiful. Very beautiful.
That is insane. That
Yes.
difference is insane.
Yes. Is the little less inflammation?
Yeah.
Is perfect.
I'm gonna have a heart attack. Oh my god.
Yes. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful. Tell me what? You see the me? Oh. It's very perfect. Very beautiful.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That is my nose now.
Yes.
I'm having like an out of body experience. It's the weirdest thing.
Yes.
Oh my god.
You look so much younger.
It's
funny how much younger you look.
weird. And my throat, there's
Yes.
nothing there. Just like nothing.
Nothing.
Oh gosh, all that anxiety. Thank you. You
look amazing.
Oh my god.
That is absolutely insane. But also, I don't feel like I looked like this anyway. Like,
No,
this is a
it's
very
weird, it's great,
specific
it's-
photo, isn't it?
Because this is kind of more like this is very high like sharpening. So like you
Yeah.
can see like pores. You can't actually see your pores that much in real life. Normally.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've got such textured skin, gorgeous. Wow. I can't wait to be healed. So today marks 15 days since my facial feminization surgery. Today I'm actually getting ready to go furniture shopping for my new apartment, which, as you can see, is just filled with rubbish at the moment, emergency rubbish. How do I feel about my facial feminization surgery so far? So as you can tell, I think there's so much swelling in my chin that it's affecting the way that I speak. This is something that is still there, it's still prevalent. I think straight after surgery, it wasn't quite as swollen. Now it's like numb from about here across to here. I've had to put a little bit of eyeliner on today just to make myself feel a bit more like myself. Yeah, it's numb across here to here, and I can't really control my bottom lip very much, so it does sound like I have a lisp, which is an interesting feeling to have because usually I'm quite articulate with my words, and I feel like it's kind of prevented me from doing that. So I feel like I don't really sound like myself, and I certainly don't smile like myself at the moment. So that is something I'm adjusting to during this healing period. So as you can see, I've got some bruising across the nose here. That is basically as bad as the bruising has ever gotten. I didn't really get swollen and puffy eyes. My eye sockets, I will say today, are quite sore. And that's because the skin is obviously reattaching to my cranium. And that's, well, not necessarily the skin, but the soft tissues are readjusting to the new contours of my face. So it's quite sore. I'm not really getting like a strong pain, but it is something that's like, if I blink too much or use my eyes too much or stare at screens too much or speak too much, I do get very exhausted and my face kind of feels like going like, I just need to sleep. Do you know what I mean? The one thing I am a little bit like jarred about is how bad my mental health has been since, for about 5 days after surgery, between day 5 and day 7, my mental health has been declining a little bit. Yesterday was the day that it kind of like took a little bit of a step back up. And I don't know whether that is, well, I think it could be multiple factors. I think it could be the fact that I'm on a lot of antibiotics, of which I finished today. A lot of antibiotics side effects. Obviously, they affect like your gut microbiome, they affect the way you feel and stuff. And I feel like maybe that's also played a part because I've been on like 4 antibiotics, and of which I finished the last one today. So I'm hoping that over the next few days, my mental health starts to pick up a little bit as like my body starts to readjust. Yeah, let's talk about my nose. So this nose shape is so dramatic. And if I'm honest with you, my initial reaction when I saw it, I was kind of shell-shocked actually, because it is probably the biggest change to my face. Although my chin has been moved forward and it's giving me this stark gauntness here that I'm a little bit like, not entirely sure I like that just yet, but it's because my chin is so swollen that it kind of goes like in and then out again. So I'm hoping that when the chin swelling goes down and the soft tissue is in its final position, which can take anything up to a year, you know, will make me feel a lot more happier and at peace with the idea that I have this new contour that I've never seen on my face before. My face has always been very round. And one of the things that I wanted to change was slightly shift that roundness into a more heart-shaped face. And I've definitely got that. It's just going to take a little while to adjust to, I think. So back to my nose. The one thing I will say is that this shape is so dramatic, way more dramatic than I would like, but I can feel, like if I gently press on it, that it is very, very swollen still. And compared to when I first came out of surgery, and also to when I first had my cast removed for my rhinoplasty, the shape has definitely gone down and is less swollen. So I'm hoping that over the next 6 months or so, the swelling really reduces and it just creates that really slight curve, because I didn't want a really dramatic curve. And it's one of the things that's causing me a little bit of like anguish to look in the mirror at the moment, because I am only 2 weeks out of a major surgery though. So I do also have to remember that I shouldn't be this harsh on myself to recover fast. I should give myself time to breathe and time to adjust. But it is something that I'm like, okay, this is something that I do want to talk about, this shape. I do like a curve. I like how curved this top part is, but because the soft tissue and the cartilage is really swollen, it's kind of creating that really shocking nose. I still have my stitches on my nose as well, dissolvable stitches. I had all my stitches, my like actual stitches taken out. Very glad that that was painless as well. Much more painless than when I had my stitches out for my hairline transplant. Gosh, however many years ago that was now, 5 years ago. I still have dissolvable stitches down here in my mouth. I don't know if you can see. Let's have a look. You can't really see, but it feels very tight here. I'm surprised there isn't more bruising here, because for the amount of like fluid and like toughness that's here, it feels like it should be like bright purple at this point, but it's not. So I'm very thankful about that. So I have 2 areas of concern at the moment through healing that I'm hoping will, harmonize with the rest of the features on my face. So it's this gauntness that you can see on the side, this like pudgy bit down here is creating this like dip in my cheek that I'm not a fan of. And also the very tip of my nose is just too upturned at the moment. And I'm hoping that as the swelling reduces, it settles into its final position. And those are my concerns for day 15 of facial feminization surgery. I love what they've done to my eyes. They're so much more awake and open. I love my new eyebrow position. When I am more comfortable not wearing a hat, I will show you exactly where my new eyebrows are, because I can't pluck them or anything at the moment for 6 weeks until after surgery. So until 6 weeks after surgery. That's my day 15 check-in. Today, it is 4 weeks since my facial feminization surgery in Marbella with Facialteam. I am having some interesting, should we say, healing side effects that are kind of a little bit difficult to deal with. And I knew this was coming because healing is not a linear process. It's like up and down and up and down and up and down. And you can get asymmetric swelling, asymmetric sensations, things like that. This side of my face has been giving me so much bother. Like, this side is not numb at all. Like, I can do this and I can feel it. And if I get an itch, I can scratch it. This whole side has been numb and has felt a bit like a pressure has built there. And it has kind of made my day-to-day life a little bit difficult on certain days. Like, I'll get like a pressure and I kind of have to sit like this for a little bit. And I know why that is. It's because I've had, obviously, quite an extensive surgery. I can't show the pictures, I don't think, in this video because they're quite graphic, but it is pretty dramatic. Obviously, I have an incision from ear to ear, and this has all been pulled forward. And then they've operated on this section of my face, including this bone here. And it feels like the skin and the muscle and the soft tissue and the nerves are reattaching, but they are doing it in such a way that's like kind of actually quite annoying and painful. So that makes my day-to-day life a little bit difficult on certain days. It's not unbearable. It's just something to pay attention to, and it also is just quite uncomfortable. I still have quite a lot of swelling in my chin. As you can see from the way that I speak, I still have difficulty controlling my bottom lip, and sometimes I dribble, which is not very glamorous at all. I definitely feel like I might take a little bit longer to heal than initially I thought. I didn't really get any intense bruising. I still have some swelling around the side of my nose, and I still have a little bit of bruising here. The tip of my nose is so swollen still as well, but my profile is I'm a lot more happy with it now. I just can't wait for my nose to calm down just a little bit more. My speech is still somewhat affected by the way that my jaw has swollen, or rather my chin has swollen. And it is now 1 month since my surgery. So I know that I'm not going to be one of those people that's quite lucky and has it heal really quickly. I have a feeling that my chin might be one of the last things that really becomes easy for me to deal with. For my career, I spend a lot of my time looking at my face, editing my face, speaking on cameras, and it's a little bit jarring to see myself not speak the same way that I'm used to seeing myself speak for many, many years now. It's not upsetting, it's just something that's like, oh, come on, I'd like you to heal, please. Let's make some progress. It's definitely something to consider.
So it has now been 6 weeks since my facial feminization surgery in Marbella with Facialteam, and today is the first day that I'm wearing a full makeup look, like the full Luxeria glam makeup look. And I can't tell you how much like happier I feel and accomplished I feel with the progression of my healing so far. Recovery has kind of been a little bit topsy-turvy, upside down, left and right. And the reason for that is because I very much realized, even though I was saying that healing is not a straight line, it's not like, oh, you're unwell and then you're magically better and it's a lovely graph like this. It is not. It is a meandering river that takes lefts and rights and ups and downs and then like stops at a destination in which you are healed. And I know I've got a long way to go, but I am so happy with how things are progressing so far. It's also been a little bit of a journey through my own psyche, shall we say. My mental health has kind of been up and down, and it's a very strange experience to explain to someone how your mental health has been affected by a physical thing that you've underdone, like surgery. My mental health going all over the place is a direct result of anesthetic, antibiotics, and surgery itself. It's a very strange experience to be able to say it, and I feel like even though I'm armed with being able to say, the reason why I'm feeling like this is because I've just had a major surgery, sometimes that doesn't help, like late at night when you're by yourself and you're looking in the mirror and it's just kind of like, why am I not healing faster? Why am I not progressing at the rate that I want to progress at? And I hold myself to a very high standard, and I need to also remind myself that because this is a major surgery, I need to give myself a bit of a break and just let myself heal. But it is something
that I would absolutely say to someone who is undergoing this process is that prepare yourself, sis, because surgery is no joke. So of the 5 procedures that I had, which is brow bone reduction, brow lift, rhinoplasty, chinplasty, and tracheal shave, 2 areas have actually been like a consistent area for... not concern's not the word, but just an area of discomfort during my healing. And it's basically been the same 2 areas throughout this entire healing process. It is my chin, feeling like my chin is so big and numb. The 2 front teeth at the bottom are numb, so it kind of makes it really difficult to know how much pressure I'm using when I am eating, or when I like bite down on something, I'm like, is this enough pressure? Am I just going to dribble everywhere? And the second area is, again, my forehead on this side. It's a very strange sensation. It kind of feels like as I run my finger across this part of my head, I can feel something up here that's like activated, like there's a nerve up here that's like, hello. And post-surgery numbness is absolutely a normal thing. I think it's one of these things, again, that unless you've gone through something in which you've had an area of your body operated on and it's gone numb after surgery, I can't really explain how it feels. It's just a very strange, uncomfortable feeling. Because this whole section is numb and I can only feel it when I put my hand across here, that little nerve activating, it actually makes like brushing my hair and stuff a little bit difficult because I don't know how much pressure I'm using and I've got to be really gentle with this area of my scalp. It's a very strange experience. It's not exactly painful. It's just a little bit uncomfortable, and every now and then I kind of have to be like, oh, I need to sit with my hand here and just make sure that everything is going to plan. When I first came around out of surgery, I had a very strange experience with myself, basically. I kind of felt like there was this like pressure or something down here. I think it might have been the nose packing or maybe even the incision on the inside of my mouth, feeling that this area was like activated, all active, and like feeling like something was doing this. And I remember waking up from anesthetic and immediately thinking, oh, they've only done this part of my face. I've got to go in for round 2. Like an absolute lunatic, there's me going, oh yeah, I've only had a bit of plastic surgery, time to go in for round 2. They haven't done this bit yet. And of course, as my surgery was 10 hours long, like every procedure that we'd agreed on had been done. But for some reason, when I woke up, I was like, I'm only halfway done. And that was a really strange experience. I don't know why. I don't know why my brain went to that. To anyone else going through this procedure, I would say take your time and really think exactly what it is that you want. It took me many, many years to come to a conclusion, and many, many consultations with my doctors at Facialteam to come to an agreement of exactly where I want to go and exactly the kind of results that I want. It's really important to make sure that you're clear in your communication and that you express every little tiny bit of fear or anxiety that you have, because a problem shared is a problem halved, especially when it comes to something like this. Like this for me is a one and done situation. I don't want to have to do anything else to my face again. I want this facial feminization to be it. That's it. I cannot tell you how happy I was for the 1 month mark after my surgery and I didn't have to wear my compression band anymore to sleep with overnight. So the compression band is like, I have a weird relationship with it. Although it's like doing a very necessary job and you need to wear it, it is kind of uncomfortable, especially when it starts to get to like hotter weather, warmer climates, and you just kind of feel all like squished like this, and overnight you get a bit hot and bothered, and if you roll onto your face you kind of feel like panic. So there is this weird little thing that happens in your mind that's like, I wear a compression band because I've had plastic surgery. At least that's what I had with mine. I don't know why I had that experience, but I did. But after a while it just kind of got really laborious. The first night's sleep after that month was over was so good. I woke up feeling so refreshed, and I think that was really the beginning of my like proper healing, because it's like the healing powers of a full night's rest of sleep is incredible. I actually feel very, very fortunate to have the opportunity to have worked with Facialteam, because they've really looked after me every single step of the way. I recently just had my first post-op consultation over Zoom, and the post-op care is incredible. Every single tiny bit of concern or every tiny little bit of reassurance that I needed that my healing was going correctly was absolutely provided to me, and I feel like I've been listened at every step of the process. So it took me around around the 5-week mark to start really feeling like myself again. I've managed to put in some dangly earrings to make myself feel a bit more like me. And I cannot wait to get my septum re-pierced because that was such an integral part to my look. And I'm so excited to get it done again because I feel like that's probably gonna be like the last step to me really feeling like, you know, I've arrived now. This is me, this is my face, this is my existence, and this is me. I think my last piece of advice to anyone undergoing this process is don't move house and have plastic surgery in the same week. Unless you really enjoy stress, just don't do that. I actually feel very blessed to be able to accomplish this, and I would never have been able to go through this process without the help of my audience. And the amount of like love and outpouring of care and attention that's come from nearly every single person of my audience is kind of a little bit overwhelming and so heartwarming in a way, because I didn't actually expect the level of love. And it truly is my audience that's allowed me to do this. And I'm so thankful for each and every person who watches my content and engages with me. You've changed my life in a way that I didn't actually think was possible. I didn't ever think this opportunity would be able to happen for me, and to actually finally feel that merging of inner peace for me is exciting, overwhelming, happiness, a little bit of stress, not gonna lie, but overall the experience has been incredible so far. And I know that I've got a long way to go still with healing. I've got probably another like 10 months before I fully start to see the final placement of everything, when all the swelling has gone and everything else is back to normal. It really has let me close a chapter of my life that was kind of filled with a little bit of turmoil. And for the first time, I'm actually really excited for the future.
I'm enjoying those ice creams.
Oh my god! What the fuck?